Jeff Probst, JP, Jeffrey, or even Pretty Boy Probst, the iconic host of Survivor, has been called many names throughout his long and historic run as the host of the greatest game in the history of television. Although it didn't all come naturally from day one, we can all 100% agree that over his 41 season run that Jeff Probst has given the hosting gig of Survivor his own special flair. Starting out as a pretty cringy and even timid host, as the eras of Survivor have slowly changed over time, so has Jeffrey's approach to being the host of Survivor. From being in your face about needing to dig deep all the way to comforting you through the adventure, Jeff has truly come full circle, and this hands-on approach is what has helped him deliver such a fantastic job as the host of Survivor. In fact, a few days ago, I posted a poll on YouTube asking for your opinions on who you think the next host of Survivor should be. With over 300 votes, no clear-cut winner, and over 60 comments, we can agree the community is so torn on what to think about the hosting job on Survivor. I post Survivor questions every single day on my channel, and so if you want to interact with other fans of the show, then I recommend subscribing to the channel so you never miss my content. With all that said, let's dive into Jeff Probst's perfect Survivor moments.
Winners get enough luxury to keep them strong until the end.
Oh, man.
And as for the losers, they will be taken and executed.
I understand that we might be starting with a little bit of a controversial topic, but part of what makes Jeff Probst so special and the famous Survivor host that he is, the countless iconic catchphrases that he gives us every single week. Whether it be "come on in," "the tribe has spoken," "drop your buffs," or even "want to know what you're playing for," these have all become staple moments from Survivor that we expect with each passing episode. These quotes are so famous at this point that when we hear Jeff say them, it really helps reassure us that Survivor is on. In your day-to-day life, if you ever hear someone say, "this challenge is on," I'm guessing your mind goes directly to Survivor. And as a Survivor superfan, that goes to show how powerful the Survivor branding truly is, with the chokehold that Jeff Probst and Survivor has on all of us. Whether it be "in the game, fire represents your life," "I'll go tally the votes," or "you need to bring me your torch," it's these quotes that Jeff Probst gives us that makes him such an iconic host of Survivor, as we relate these phrases to some of the most important parts of the Survivor game.
39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor.
What's the goal when playing Survivor? Like, the point I'm trying to make is, at the end of the day, what is the point? Make it all the way to final tribal council and convince the jury, a group of players that you had a hand in voting out, to give you that $1 million check and the title of sole survivor. That is the whole point of the show. So with that in mind, there's literally nothing as important in the Survivor adventure than those jury votes at the end of the game. And I absolutely love, in the early days of the show, how they make it feel like Jeff is protecting these votes with his entire life as he transports them across the world in a mini travel montage. There's a lot of things in the old school era of Survivor that I'm pretty glad they left on the cutting room floor, but I'm always hoping we get some version of the Jeff traveling through the world at the end of the seasons. This gimmick would have gotten old super fast if it wasn't handled properly, but the fact that Jeff is physically the person transporting the votes on a jet ski, on a helicopter, and asking for his receipt after his taxi ride is what makes these moments feel so special and unique. These moments have been so long gone in Survivor. However, we were given a nod to the old classic during Second Chance when Cass says she hopes Jeff's gonna go on a jet ski at the end of the season. In total, Jeff went on these fancy adventures 6 times in the Australian outback, Marquesas, the Amazon, All-Stars, Vanuatu, and Guatemala. But my favorite is hands down gonna be the vote delivery from Survivor Vanuatu, for how epic in scale it truly was. Jeff Probst is known for many things throughout his career as the host of Survivor, but what might be the most infamous of all is his challenge banter that takes place every week during the reward and immunity challenges. I mean, who else could pull off the classic line, "he is literally carrying his family on his back"? And for how iconic Jeff's play-by-play commentary of the challenges have really turned into, it's so surprising that it took him a few seasons before we really got anything from the guy during the challenges. These old school challenges did not age well at all on a rewatch and felt very confusing and out of place without Jeff screaming in our TV. It wouldn't be until Survivor Thailand where Jeff would begin his challenge commentary career. He really uses this time to highlight the players he likes against the players he hates, with how he chooses to motivate them or brings them down. We are going to be avoiding all of Jeff's sassiest and scariest Survivor moments and save that for next week's video, as that will be our Halloween special. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss Jeff's spookiest Survivor moments. Whether it be digging deep, talking about how Survivor isn't easy, or for his love for balls. Over the years, some of Jeff's best moments have come right here from the challenges. The season that really helped bring the challenge banter to the forefront was Cook Islands, as Jeff and Jonathan Penner created a magical love-hate relationship, as Penner would yell back at Jeff for yelling at him.
I guess I had to scream your name, I guess. What? Did you call me?
You can love or hate the new twists and themes Jeff has brought to Survivor over the past 10 seasons, some ideas obviously being better than others, but at the end of the day, what makes Jeff Probst such an amazing host of Survivor is that he's like you and me. He's a Survivor superfan. Gonna be a bold claim, but I think without Jeff Probst, Survivor would not have made it to 41 seasons and still on the air today. And even though we don't agree with everything he does, 100% he does a better job hosting than any of us could ever do. At the end of the day, it's his enthusiasm and always being happy to be there for the reason as to why he's the best host ever. Whether it be the spark he had during the opening moments of Survivor 41, welcoming us all back to Survivor, or the many bromances he's had over the years, part of the reason that makes Jeff so great is the super fan approach he takes to hosting the greatest reality show in the history of television.
Rob.
Oh, Sandra, I hope you're not
I
watching
know,
this.
I love Sandra. She's won twice.
I know.
But you're asking me.
Nicely done, Mariano. What up?
Before we discuss the number 1 spot on our list for the perfect Jeff Probst moments throughout Survivor history, we need to throw in a quick honorable mention. They make you laugh, they make you cry. It's of course the family visit on Survivor, a staple in the franchise appearing in every season except for Fiji, Samoa, Ko Rong, and the Blood vs. Water seasons. The loved one's visit is a pillar of the game and usually referred to as a stepping stone for the players, as the goal is often described as making the swap, then making the merge, make the loved one's visit, and then finally making the final tribal council. You know the loved one's visit provides some crazy emotional moments when they will sometimes even make Jeff Probst himself shed a quick tear. It's the fact that these loved one's visits bring so much emotion that makes them so unique in developing our love for Jeff Probst. 99% of the time, he is the sassy legend that delivers us with amazing one-liners. But it's when you take a quick step back that you realize Jeff Probst himself has a heart and is a regular dude just like you and me.
You got me.
I'm so happy.
Brenda, I just broke 26 seasons. I've never cried at a loved one.
The only other time Jeff Probst is able to be more iconic than the challenges is during Tribal Council. And for that reason, the number 1 spot on our list for Jeff Probst's perfect Survivor moments needs to be the time we spend with him during Tribal Council. Take away the iconic lines. We already discussed JP's catchphrases earlier in this video. The reason Jeff Probst is the best at Tribal Council is because he does such a good job being the mediator, the therapist, and asking those hard-hitting questions about all the strategic gameplay that is going on back at camp. There is way too many amazing Jeff Probst Tribal Council moments to choose from, so comment down below what your favorites are. But if you have been watching my videos for any period of time, then you know my favorite is 100% gonna be the shock value we get during Cook Islands with Billy Garcia. Let's wind the clocks back to the good old days of Survivor Cook Islands, where Billy confesses his love for Candace. I can hear Jeff saying the iconic line right now in my head. Candace from Roro Tribe. Although this may be at the top of our list for some silly reasons, it brings the point home as to why Jeff Probst is so good at his job and is the perfect Survivor host. The guy is authentic and always has something amazing to say. Click right here to see my video on Survivor Micronesia, fans versus favorites.